There is something most people never fully understand about life. Not because it is hidden, but because it is uncomfortable. You do not suffer only because of what happens to you. You suffer because of how you interpret what happens. From a psychological perspective, human beings do not respond directly to reality. They respond to the meaning they construct about it. Two people experience the same situation. One becomes stronger, the other collapses. The difference is not the event, it is the interpretation. Your brain is constantly building models about people, about trust, about safety, about what something means. And those models guide your behavior. But here is the critical part. Most people build those models based on what they want to be true, not what is consistently observable. This is where misperception begins. You trust promises instead of patterns. You believe words instead of behavior. You expect consistency from people who have never shown it consistently. And when reality contradicts your expectation, you experience it as betrayal. But often, it is not betrayal, it is misreading. From a cognitive perspective, the brain prefers emotional coherence over accuracy. It chooses the story that feels better, not the one that is more precise. But the cost of that choice is high, because inaccurate perception creates unstable decisions, and unstable decisions create unstable lives. So the goal is not to become cold. The goal is to become accurate, to observe patterns instead of projecting meaning, to evaluate behavior over time instead of reacting to isolated moments, to understand that trust is not a feeling, it is a structure built through repeated, consistent behavior. And like any structure, it can be tested or it can collapse. Now here is where it becomes deeper. Life is not stable. Conditions change, pressure appears, and under pressure, human behavior shifts. Not because people suddenly become different, but because pressure reveals what was always there. This is why perception matters, not to judge, but to see. Because once you see clearly, you stop being surprised by predictable behavior. You stop personalizing what is structural. You stop expecting stability where there is none. And that is where the shift begins. Real change does not begin when life becomes easier. It begins when your perception becomes precise. When you stop explaining behavior and start recognizing patterns. When you stop reacting emotionally and start observing structurally. That is where stability begins. And that stability is what rebuilds your life. You were never defeated by reality. You were limited by the way you interpreted it. And the moment that interpretation becomes accurate, everything reorganizes, not because the world changed, but because your model of it did. So this is the final shift. You don't need the world to change. You need your perception to become accurate. Because once you stop interpreting reality through what you wish were true and start seeing what is consistently there, you stop repeating the same patterns. And when the pattern changes, your life follows. Athena Lumina, follow for more insights.